Hi, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Ginger Realtor Meets. This time it's the social distancing editions. Today I'm with Montclair attorney John Lubenesky, who specializes in real estate. John, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Gavin.
John, I'm going to jump straight in with the questions, if you don't mind. I understand that it's a busy time of year for you. So the first question I have really is, when it comes to hiring an attorney for your real estate purchase or sale, why should I go with someone like you who specializes in real estate and not maybe someone who's cheaper who does a bit of everything?
It's a lot of things. One of the things is you pay for what you get. There'll be attorneys a lot of times who do jack of all trades, who will put ads in the papers or in the internet where they'll do closings for $300. If you've ever been involved with someone who does something like that, you can be assured that your deal is going to go very badly the entire time. It's good to have an expert in the field. For example, if you're going to your general practitioner doctor, you go there if you feel sick, you have a cold, you want to get checked up or have a physical, but you wouldn't go there for brain surgery. You wouldn't go there for necessarily a broken arm to be fixed or operated on. It's similar with attorneys. We all specialize in specific areas so that we have that expertise in that area.
So let me ask you the question. If you're working alongside an attorney who maybe is a jack of all trades just because, and I think the one that I find most is it's a friend of the family and he's agreed to do it just to save them some money. Where do you find the biggest downfall in working with someone like that is, and how do you counter that?
I mean, it's a lot of it. So the worst for me is if it's an uncle or a father who's an attorney doing something completely different, who's going to do a favor for, one of their relatives. The main problem I have is they just don't understand the real estate law and the transactions, so they don't even understand how it proceeds. It's such a negative to the people that they're representing too, because a lot of times the contracts need to be changed and amended for each deal. The standard form contract is not a good contract for anyone as it's written. That's why we amend it. And oftentimes, I'll send a letter out and just have them sign off on it without making any changes. And that's such a disservice already to their clients if we actually want to hold them to the terms of the original contract. The only other frustrating thing is availability. Most times they're not available. They're out, in meetings or in court hearings or things like that. And real estate transactions are very fluid, especially when it gets to this time of year when things go very quickly. If I have a buyer who's trying to get under contract and I can't get the seller's attorney to respond, oftentimes we could lose that deal during attorney review to someone coming in with a counter bid, and we should have been under contract days before.
Yeah, I mean, look, the one thing that as a sales professional I've always learned is that time kills all deals. And obviously, the longer it takes to get through an attorney review process, the more likely it is that something is going to come up that's going to go wrong. So, John, look, let's talk about how things are specifically right now. It's a crazy time to work in real estate or to be in America in general with the COVID-19 thing. How have things changed in the way that you work with the presence of the coronavirus?
Well, we're relaxed our wardrobes significantly. My employees are all working remotely. I still go into the office because it's right by my house. We don't let anyone in. It's just a strange way of dealing with things. Everything is done through Zoom meetings. If I want to meet my clients, I'll meet them on a Zoom call as well or some kind of social media call. The whole transaction, the other parts of the transactions aren't that much different because a lot of things have transitioned into, electronic mail and things over the internet, and the cloud helps with everything to be able to move things forward. But I think the main difference is closings, because New Jersey still, even though Governor Murphy signed an executive order a week and a half ago permitting remote notarization. So up until that point, New Jersey was a handful of states that didn't permit you to do online notarization or remote notarization. They made a ruling that now you can going forward. The problem with that is each county in New Jersey records the mortgages for notice provisions, and none of the counties in New Jersey will permit a remote notarization mortgage to be recorded. So even if people have the availability to do it under Governor Murphy's law, it doesn't apply to mortgages. It also doesn't apply to wills. So in that scenario, we're coming up with creative ways to get closings done for the clients. clients who are extraordinarily concerned about being anywhere, if they have an underlying disease, I generally suggest that I get power attorney and then I sign all the documents for them. If they're still okay, we're doing it usually outdoors or in a parking lot where people have as limited exposure as possible to the actual closer who's giving them the bank documents.
And are you finding that you're getting any resistance either from individuals in the real estate profession or from buyers and sellers themselves?
The only resistance I got twice during this pandemic was from two attorneys, older attorneys, who don't specialize in real estate law, who didn't understand that not everyone wanted to or should be at a closing. And eventually we convinced them that, the sellers should not be there, the seller attorney should not be there. We shouldn't have extra people going in for no reason at this point because everything can be dropped off, overnighted, signed electronically. Other than that, people are pretty responsive and positive about the way that these are going. Even getting a little bit of a kick out of it. The one title agency, we had them close outside on picnic tables by a lake. So it's, as long as it's not raining and it's nice out, it's a great scenario.
You must have picked that one day up until now where it didn't rain, at least. So how do you think things are going to change as far as your role in the real estate transaction going forward? Do you think we'll see a much more readiness to use virtual kind of environments to be able to sign? Or do you think things, as soon as the virus is done, it's going to go straight back to normal or with the old archaic ways?
I mean, I'm really hopeful that everything's going to change and progress. A lot of the things that they're doing now are things that we were capable of doing for a long, long time. For example, a New Jersey closing only could take 30 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on how much explanation the clients want of the documents they're signing. Now, the problem is every document they're signing, except the mortgage and the note, can be pre-signed online electronically. So theoretically, it would take about 10 minutes to do a closing to go through those two documents, the mortgage and note, which are standard documents that can't be changed. So if we actually start doing that, which I know a lot of lenders are finally doing this at this point, a lot of the big ones, where they're going up to a closing and they only have to sign two documents, which makes the whole system go much quicker. I think up until this point where we had a lot of the online places like House Party, Zoom, Ring Central, these things were there, but they weren't that prevalent. I think people are getting really comfortable with it and realize that meeting your attorney through this kind of a scenario actually is better than talking on the phone, because people actually want to see what you look like rather than just talking on the phone with them. So, personally, I think it's good transitions, and I don't see why it would go back. I mean, they're doing drive-by appraisals at this point. There's really no reason to go into houses if they can see the pictures that are accurate.
No, I'll agree with you. I definitely think that a lot of things will go back to normal as far as the real estate world is concerned. I think open houses and things like that will definitely come back. But there are definitely some things that definitely shouldn't come back. I mean, if you've got a detailed photography showing you exactly what's in the house, you have floor plans showing you measurements, there's no reason for an appraiser to go into the property to just verify what he's seen on photographs. So I definitely agree with you from that perspective. But John, look, it's been great to have you online. I know that it's a busy time of the year for you. So for those people who are looking for a real estate attorney, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Check out my website, which is www.lubenesky, LUBENESKY.com. It tells you everything about our firm, all the reviews, the people who work here, and all our contact information.
And thank you. And do you have an office number you want to share with everybody?
Sure. 973-707-3393.
Okay. And John, one last question. When it comes to choosing a real estate attorney, why should somebody choose you over other specialists?
Well, it's actually funny. When I started, my background is I worked at one of the large firms in New York City for about 10 long, miserable years. When I came to New Jersey and opened this practice, people started reaching out to me, realtors, and saying how much they enjoyed working with me. And I said, why is that? And they said, well, you answer calls. You call people right back. And then I realized the barrier isn't that high. So what I tend to do is I bring a big firm experience to a small firm practice. I'm always available. I give everyone my cell phone and ask them to text me at any point with a question. And we're very responsive, what you need to do to get things done.
Fantastic. So look, I can definitely vouch for the fact that John is responsive. I've done a couple of deals with him, as I've said, and anytime you send him an email or a text, he's really quick at getting back. So if you're looking for a real estate attorney, John is based in Montclair, but can service anywhere in New Jersey. John, you cover all of New Jersey?
Yeah, especially these days. New Jersey, New York, anywhere.
So John's covering anywhere in New Jersey and New York. Give him a call, drop him a text. I can definitely say he's one of the better attorneys that I've dealt with, so I'm happy to keep working with him. And hopefully we won't have any issues with our closing at the end of this month. John, thank you very much for stopping by today. I'll give you a high five because we can't shake hands and it's socially distanced. So guys, that's the Ginger Realtor Meets for another week. Again, this was Lubenesky and Associates, John Lubenesky. For now, thank you very much, and we'll be back soon with another edition.